I'm at Crash Boat Beach in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. This is an amazing spot to jump off the pier, scuba dive. It's a great launching point for everything that's great in Aguadilla. So today we're going to do just that, soak in the water, get some local food, some cocktails, and then we're going to jump on a boat tomorrow morning and head out to the island of Desecheo, about 20 miles off the coast here. We're going to scuba dive some of the deep waters out there, and we're going to come back, enjoy some more of this Aguadilla coastline, the amazing sunset, drink some piña coladas and mojitos, eat some amazing food, and see what all we can find here. Even a special surprise coming up at the end, something a little unique. So grab your sunscreen and beach towel and let's explore the west coast of Aguadilla. If you are a sun seeker and experience collector, you're going to love the beaches and sunsets on the west coast of Puerto Rico. Crash Boat Beach is my favorite beach on the main island. It's well worth the 1 hour and 45-minute drive from San Juan. However, there's an airport right here in Aguadilla, just minutes from the west coast beaches. I personally enjoy the drive along the north coast of the island. One of my favorite beaches along the way is Mar Chiquita. This seashell-shaped lagoon is a hotspot for locals and tourists alike. Grab a chilled coconut and enjoy this amazing view. Also on the northern route, we passed Arecibo, which is home to the Cueva del Indio, one of the largest collections of indigenous Taino petroglyphs in the world.
Mami, ¿qué más? Hay algo en ti que me tiene mal. Una belleza que me quema. Cuando vaya, la nota me estalla. Mami, ¿qué más? Hay algo en ti que me tiene mal. Sé que anda puesta pa'l problema. Dale, guaya, que yo te doy falla.
Right next to Cueva del Indio is one of my favorite restaurants, Arrecife 681. This is a great stop on the north route for chilled cocktails and fish tacos topped with spicy crab. Wow. It's an amazing ocean view here, and you will love it. After leaving the restaurant, though you will never want to leave this amazing spot, you pass the famous Cara del Indio, which is the Indian face sculpted into the side of a cliff, and the Túnel de Oaxaca. This old train tunnel, hiking trail, and gorgeous beach are remnants of a train that used to operate around the island. Just another great stop on this northern route into Aguadilla. As we pull into Crash Boat, the vibe here is always amazing. The day is gorgeous, it's sunny, it's hot but not too hot. It's just the perfect November day here on the island. Pretty much everything you want on your island vacation is going to be right here at Crash Boat Beach. Before the beach entrance, there's a wooden deck overlook which has fantastic views of the Crash Boat Pier and Desecheo Island in the distance. Although parking in the past was free, they're now charging $6 per car, which isn't too expensive considering they have bathrooms, showers, and now even a lifeguard. If you followed the road past the Crash Boat sign, there is free parking, but it's almost always full. This is mostly for the vendors who are setting up first thing in the morning, you know, with piña coladas and a pineapple and pinchos and things like that. The Crash Boat Pier served as a military rescue operation for rescuing airmen whose planes crashed while departing from and returning to the Rami Air Force Base nearby. In fact, a famous scuba dive spot off this coast is a sunken B-29 aircraft from, I think, the 1940s. Many people believe the beach got its name from a sunken boat, and although there are remains of a crashed boat down the coastline a little bit, that is not actually the reason for the name. Ramy Air Force Base is now the Aguadilla International Airport. Aguadilla is one of my favorite pueblos on the island with some of the most amazing beaches. It's just spectacular. As you bury your toes in the warm golden sands of Crash Boat Beach, you'll see the various kiosks selling everything from chilled coconut to pinchos, which are barbecued meats on a stick, and pretty fantastic as well. There's the Cocalaba Beach Bar, which also has food and cocktails. They have a chill grassy spot with picnic tables, Adirondack chairs, and salsa music. One thing everybody loves when coming to Crash Boat is jumping off the end of the pier. And right below it, grab your snorkel mask because you'll see a lot of tropical fish like Sergeant Major fish, blue tangs, etc. Grab your beach towel and a cocktail and meet me out at the Crash Boat Pier. This pier used to be much longer but was damaged by Hurricane Maria. There used to be large concrete platforms off the end of the pier for large ships to dock. After the damage from Maria, these platforms now lie on the ocean floor and are home to a wide variety of marine life and coral, making this one of the most amazing shore dive scuba sites on the island. Although I have been scuba diving at this pier a few times, on this trip we'll be jumping on a boat and heading out to the remote, deserted island of Desecheo in the morning. But for now, it's time to soak in the warm waters and enjoy the beach. The water temperature today in mid-November is 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's go find this beach bar, jump in the water, and see why Crash Boat is my favorite beach on the west coast of Puerto Rico. As our time at the beach ended, we headed into the town of Aguadilla. This quaint West Coast beach town has a boardwalk stretching for miles, which is great for walking and jogging. There are several restaurants and coffee shops along this strip of coastline. Where the boardwalk ends, you will find the Parque Colón, home to the famous ficus or banyan tree treehouse. This is a great stop for kids and adults alike to climb through the treehouse with amazing views of the ocean and of course all the local fauna that exists here on the island, which is fantastic. I found this amazing amapola flower from the maga tree and these blossoms from the African tulip tree. After exploring the treehouse, we posted up at an amazing oceanfront restaurant called Sal de Mar. They have a rooftop bar and some amazing seafood. Our server was very nice and recommended calamari for an appetizer and the seafood trifongo. Mofongo is a popular local dish on the island consisting of smashed plantains and stuffed with meats. The trifongo is a mix of sweet plantain, green plantain, and yuca. This local island delicacy was stuffed with fresh-caught local seafood and a garlic butter cream sauce. One of the greatest dishes I think I've ever eaten. It was amazing. We strolled along the boardwalk as the sun began to set over the Mona Passage. The Mona Passage is a body of water between the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. When I first sailed to this island many years ago, I crossed this body of water. I remember starry nights at the helm as we sailed into Cabo Rojo, which is just south of this location and home to the famous Cabo Rojo Lighthouse. The West Coast is known for gorgeous sunsets, and this one did not disappoint. Mercury and Venus were also in the evening sky. This was actually the first time that I had seen Mercury. Usually, Mercury is so close to the sun that the sky is too bright to see the planet. But at this rare moment, Mercury was at its furthest distance from the sun and thus was visible as the sun set. The next morning, we woke to yet another gorgeous day. My friends and I met at the nearby public boat ramp in Aguadilla and loaded our scuba gear onto the boat. We watched from on board as the boat was loaded into the water. The sea was very calm on this day. Because Desecheo Island is a protected island, it requires a special permit to be able to scuba dive the beautiful reef around the island. Anytime I dive on the West Coast, I dive with Aquatica Underwater Adventures. Aquatica also does dive trips at the Crash Boat Pier as well as other nearby dive sites. They do a great job, take care of everything, and have snacks and drinks on board. Because this is such a unique and exotic location, they have these smaller boats going out to the island, which was so cool. As we approached this remote island, I wouldn't have been surprised to see dinosaurs roaming, as it reminded me of Jurassic Park. The first dive at Candyland was just shy of 100 feet deep and had colorful, healthy reef structures. There is also this nurse shark that is always nearby hoping to be fed invasive lionfish. Our scuba guide always carries a container and a Hawaiian sling to spear the invasive fish. I applaud Aquatica for their efforts to protect the reef. Shout out to our good friend Josue for always taking good care of us and the reef. The second dive of the day was at La Grieta, which in Spanish means the crack. This is where the seafloor is cracked and creviced. It's fantastic to dive through these cracks, tunnels, and caves. This is one of my favorite dives around the island and certainly one of the most unique. As the morning dives came to an end, we headed back to the boat ramp in Aguadilla. We departed the west coast beaches of Aguadilla and decided to visit one of the most famous places on the island called Gozalandia. 30 minutes from Crash Boat Beach, you will find one of the most beautiful waterfalls in Puerto Rico. Gozalandia is located in the Pueblo of San Sebastian. There's a $10 per car fee to enter the park, but totally worth it. There's also a restaurant and bar along the path as you head towards the two waterfalls. The first waterfall to the left, Cascada Número Uno, is where people jump off the waterfall. I have to warn you that people die here all the time, mostly from jumping off the top of the waterfall and not being able to clear the rocks at the bottom. That being said, there are other lower points to jump from that are much safer. It's best to take advice from the locals, or better yet, just enjoy swimming in the lagoon in the shadow of this massive waterfall. Also, if there's rain in the area, there's a high risk for flash flooding, which is also very dangerous. In fact, on this day, it was raining, and there were signs posted for visitors to be cautious of possible flash flooding. There are several overlooks along the path up to the second waterfall. Even though I wasn't jumping today, I loved hiking up to this trail. This waterfall is the most serene and has a rope swing. This is one of the most gorgeous locations I've ever been to in my life, which says a lot. It does not disappoint. It's just so beautiful here. Wet from this warm tropical rain, we dried off with a towel at the car and headed back towards the metro area. This was a fantastic trip. Remember, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. If you know what movie that's from, drop it in the comments below. Also, let me know other destinations you'd like to see in the future. Don't forget, Puerto Rico is one of the most beautiful places on earth. So be humble, be respectful, and be kind. You will have the best experience that way, I promise. I hope you enjoyed this video. Follow along for more adventures around the beautiful islands of Puerto Rico.